time it is!
Thank you all once again for checking out the C-Squared Hour. I'm your host, Chris, bringing you another hour of auditory gold for you to install into your brain. Just to let everyone know, I am drinking Fresh Haze IPA from Deschutes Brewing. I'm, for someone who's trying to shout out, I should really get better at saying that. Anyway, Deschutes out of Bend, Oregon. Very good. Casey picked it out for me. Job well done. I know there's been times, as I just, because what someone who's trying to do this for a profession really should do is wait until you start recording before you, make sure everything's fully adjusted, right? That's the best idea, right? God, and I wonder why no one fucking listens to this. I could just start over, but I think you like the wall broken down a little bit. I think my listeners like to hear the human side of me a little bit. So that's why I leave this shit in there for you. You're welcome. So I'm going to get into all my regular stories. I'm going to, do all that. I promise. But here's the thing. I have a very important question for you all. This weekend is Juneteenth. I'm not going to speak too much about it right now. What I am going to ask, because, and I'll preface the reason why. I'm watching a lot of the specials here. They're previewing what they're going to show this weekend, or, how big of the special it's going to be, and, what have you, and which is all well and good, right? But from what I'm seeing, I feel like I could have a lot of good opinions on it. A lot of opinions that I think my listeners would enjoy. So, question. Can I do a Juneteenth special episode? Or am I not the right guy to do it? Am I going to have to wait till next year to do it? See, there's two things. I know I'm not famous enough for anyone to give a flying fuck, right? And there's a certain level of fame that you have to get to before it doesn't matter if anyone gives a flying fuck. And there's only like 4 people at that level. Should I be concerned that if I want to get to that level, they're going to come back and look at episode 30, whatever, and say, oh, wow, this guy's a racist. Even though my opinions, because, from seeing the specials that I'm seeing right now, my opinions coming up aren't racist. But am I the wrong guy to do the special? Like, I've seen this one thing, and it just seems like they're fucking pandering. It doesn't seem like they're doing a news special. It doesn't seem like they're doing a history thing. It's just... But that just might be me. And I don't know if I'm the right guy, or if I'm famous enough to be able to do the special. So, get back to me. You know where to find me. Instagram, Facebook, all that. Let me know if you think it's a good idea, A, and B, am I allowed to yet? I think those are very fair questions, aren't they? I'm going to listen back to this and just fucking hate myself for even mentioning this as I fix the microphone code. Now I think everything's fixed, everybody. I should have done that before. Fucking idiot. Yeah, let me know. Or I'm going to listen back to this and think, whatever the fuck I was saying, or just because I had ABC News on in the background, that's why this thought was coming in, and, by tomorrow I'm not going to think this is a good idea. But anyway, hit me up. I know one of you, maximum, will send me something. My DMs are open. Wide open, baby. Now that that's out of the way, I'm sure my longtime listeners are wondering where the other Chris is. Well, he realized that all these real clams of whatever city shows, there's one for every goddamn city, right? The broads of New York, DC, LA, Now there's even one for Salt Lake. Salt Lake City has a real broads of something or another. Well, Chris saw this and a light bulb went on. He looked at that and said, you know what? There's a missing market for real guys or real something or another of all these cities. So for the last month and a half or so, he's been flying to all these cities. He's gone to New York, LA, DC. He even managed to get himself into London because, I don't know, no matter how classless British people are, they're still really good at pretending to be proper, which I think a lot of these real claims of, that's not going to take off. I don't know why I keep doing that. These real broads of whatever city, they've kind of lost the pretending to be proper. Now they're just, hey, look, we get to go to fancy places and get drunk and fall over. So anyway, he's trying to start that up. However, he's running into a problem. Unfortunately, most of them have to work. He's running into the issue that anyone at that level, if you're a dude, you're at work, so you don't have time to do the fake parties and the fake drama and the fake arguments and then when's a season vacation where, should I invite her? No, I shouldn't. Wait, no, guess what? I'm going to invite her against my best judgment, but, oh no, we fought on this trip. I shouldn't have invited her. Why did you let me talk to her? The problem with having the real dudes one is, A, they're busy. They're too busy for that shit. B, they would just fight and get over it. So he's running into that problem. So he's trying to, which is why he went London, because, you never know. There seems to be a less, I don't know, fuck it. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I hope him the best, because I think there's a real market for that. And again, for a C-Square guy to be a TV producer or a TV thing, that'd be fantastic. So I appreciate him trying that out. So good luck, Chris. I really hope you get it off, and I hope I get a shout out once the show gets off. So yeah, the last couple months really trying to get that going, and I appreciate it. So obviously, got to start the show by saying, Randy, let's lace him up, bud. Meet me inside the square circle. Let's do this. And I went through all the reasons last week. You gave me a couple very specific reasons last week, so I was able to shout those out, which was nice of you. I appreciate that. You only gave me one this week. First time I played hockey in about a year and a half. It was great, and he invited me, and that was awful nice of him. And I'm probably doing it again this weekend. But here's the big hairy but. Drop in. He just rented the ice. Whoever had $20 could come play, what have you. He scores a goal, and he sellies. He celebrates a drop-in hockey goal. In fairness, he wasn't the only guy to do it, but he's the only one I know personally, and for Christ's sakes, if you're going to celebrate a drop-in hockey goal, I can't think of another reason why we shouldn't fight somebody. So you slept on me, you slept while I drove, you did all this stuff. Well, here's the thing. Now that you've celebrated during a drop-in hockey game, I'm hard-pressed to find anyone who's not going to think there's plenty of reasons for us to step in the ring. Again, it's not going to be one of those godforsaken celebrity fights. I'm not gonna knock him out and hold him up until he gets his legs steadied under him so it looks better. No, we're gonna really fight. And instead of going for a fake payday for us, it's gonna be a real payday for the charity of our choosing. So let's go, Randy. Let's lace them up. Got all the plans ready to go. New sports facility opening here in our town. I bet they would love a charity event to open the place. And again, I told you, I got a workout thing planned. I got a diet planned, but I'm not starting any of them until you agree to lace them up, because that's what I told you. That's what I told you I would do. I'm not doing any training. I'm not doing anything until you agree to it. So, really, you're not only risking your reputation, you're risking my health by not agreeing to this. So, ball is still in your court. If you didn't have enough evidence that I'm a goddamn moron, let me give you another reason. I do this whole thing. I figure out what's really going on with the parking system in this country. I figure out that it all leads back to Belize. It all goes back there, and they're getting money for all the parking and all the stuff like that. I come up with all that. You're welcome, by the way. I did the thinking, so you didn't have to. You're welcome. All the talk, I didn't make one single reference to the fucking murder that happened down there with the fucking, with, I don't know, some lord that I probably should know. Apparently I should know who it is. All these books written and all this other nonsense, but Lord Ashcroft, never heard of him. Apparently his daughter-in-law, or his son's girlfriend, I don't know. I've seen both written. Allegedly manslaughtered a cop. And why didn't I roll that into my conspiracy? Why didn't I put together 2 and 2 that some sort of famous developer, his daughter-in-law, manslaughters a cop, and that just happened to be in Belize where I'm coming up with all this? And because I'm a fucking moron. I get a news story gift wrapped to me. Gift wrapped. What do I do with it? Just sweep it under the rug. Let's go ahead and ignore that one, eh? God, I'm fucking stupid. So, if you ever wonder why I'm just going to be meddling in my home office doing this, well, other people who doing this longer and probably less talented than me, get famous or at least get paid for this shit. That's why. Because I'm a fucking idiot. Now that I got that out of the way, when this episode comes out, I know I'm going to have to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And I'm going to beat all you dumb gashes to the punch on this one. All you Facebook broads that are going to say this. And for all the moms who are doing both jobs, fuck off. You have your goddamn day. Keep it, alright? You don't need another one. Just patting all you're doing. Anyone who writes that, you should be allowed to break their pinky. You should be allowed to just grab it and not with a hammer or anything, or maybe with a hammer. I don't know. That might be, yeah, just a quick smash with a hammer, just on one of the pinkies. Non-dominant hand. I'll give them that. But all the mothers who are doing both jobs. First of all, you never say that on Mother's Day, and all the fathers doing both jobs. You know why? Because we're better people. We don't need our hand held through all this. We don't need fake praise for stupid shit. That's why. But all the moms doing both jobs. So you want credit for letting some loser dump a batch in you? Really? You want credit for not gloving up for a guy who has the personality of someone who's gonna leave as soon as you're 3 months down the road. Guess what? The signs are always there. The signs are always there. He goes, oh, just out of nowhere, he up and left. No, it wasn't out of nowhere. You saw it fucking coming. You just didn't want to say that because you would have to have some sort of responsibility for it. So, all the moms doing both. No, here's what you say. And all the moms who were dumb enough not to glove up with a loser who's gonna leave. You know who should get the credit on Father's Day? It should be the fucking kid. Because not only are you without a father, you're being raised by a woman dumb enough to get knocked up by a guy who's going to take off. Yeah, that's more on the kid. So, happy Father's Day to all the mothers doing bullshit. Go fuck yourself. Here's why women are never going to be equal. No matter what they do, no matter what they try to do. All right? I'm going to tell you. And hey, broads, take this to oh, the mother's doing bullshit. Take this and run with this one, all right? Here's the reason you're never going to be equal. Because of stupid shit like that. That's it. Because there's posts like that make us all roll our eyes, and I shouldn't have done it with my cocksucker voice. That make you roll your eyes and say, "Oh Christ!" If a certain amount of the public is saying, "Oh Christ, shut up," like, do you really need that much praise? If there's gonna be enough of those, anytime you have a real bitch. Anytime you have a real problem that needs to be addressed, the same people are going to be posting about it. And what you're going to hear is everyone's eye roll when they talk about something women-like because of that stupid post that says, all the women doing both jobs. Look, hun, I'm not saying it's just as much your fault, but you got a little bit of blame on this one, honey. All the women doing both jobs. Yeah, well, guess what? You didn't have to. I know there's a lot of shitty guys out there. Probably a lot more shitty guys when it comes to kids and leaving them and all that other stuff. Probably a lot more than there are women. Alright? But that's already known. We already know there's single mothers out there. We already know there's probably a lot more single mothers than there are single fathers. We know that. Don't find another reason to pat yourself on the fucking back until you actually earn it. You had your fucking day. If you had family who really cares, they would celebrate you even more on that day, and then you wouldn't have to do that fake fucking post that's, oh, and every mother doing... Shit fucking bothers me. Because I want so bad equality, so I can stop making these dumb arguments, so I can stop making these, and then they're going to do something stupid like that. I guarantee you, I'm going to say this, and then Sunday evening, I want you to go on Facebook or go on Twitter or go on whatever the fuck you are, whatever you're going to go, and just scroll. And see how long it takes for you to get, and the women doing both jobs. See how long it takes you to get there, because it ain't going to be fucking long. And I'm not putting all the blame on you women, but for a lot of you, it's your fault. Obviously, we know there's the other, the rape, we know the shitty parts. We know I'm talking about just some lady who meets a guy. They're going out for 6 months. She decides to let him leave it in, and they get knocked up, and a month later, he's gone. That's what I'm talking about. You know what, honey? There were plenty of signs before he did that. I guarantee you there were. For whatever reason you ignored them, and now you want a double day or you want a second day. Fuck off. Worry about real shit. Pat yourself on the back for real shit. And let this phony day just be the phony day. Christ, I really don't like eye rolling anytime a woman. What the fuck am I talking about? It gives me shit to talk about. Sorry about the noise. Just grabbing another beer. Oh, did you see the Triller fight was postponed? Apparently, Terrafino. I'm gonna have to look at how it's spelled again. I don't know. Lopez tested positive for COVID, so we are putting that off, which kind of sucks because I wanted to know what Triller did with a real fight. If you're still gonna have Oscar De La Hoya drunk and stoned, if you're still gonna be, or like maybe they make it a real event, like they really commentate and they really do. Who knows? So that was, I mean, there's a couple good fights this weekend. There's also the U.S. Open, so I'm going to be watching both of those. As I grab, there we go. This last weekend, great opportunity for top-ranked boxing. There was UFC going on. Obviously, they had hours of a lead-up on ESPN before it switched to pay-per-view. Fantastic. And right before and after it switched to pay-per-view, what do you get? Top-ranked boxing. One of the up-and-coming stars, Shakur Stevenson. Should have been a great fight. Was going to be a great fight. So you had a great chance. You had a fight lead up, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who were watching that who didn't want to pay for the UFC for whatever reason. Who knows? So what do? You throw 9 punches around. I'm trying so hard to sell it. Boxing is better than UFC. I will take that to my grave. And from the looks of it, I'm going to have to, because anytime they get a big market, you see a stupid fucking fight like this. Top Rank is struggling. You can't get Crawford in the ring. You can't. Well, Top Rank Boxing, you had your chance, and you let Shakur Stevenson fucking coast through a fucking... As you could tell, I am just fucking annoyed this week. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It could be what's going on. I don't know. It's getting hotter here. I'm even trying to burn the lavender candle that I told you about a few episodes ago. I got that going, hoping that calms me down. But no, I'm just fucking annoyed. Maybe it's the weather. I don't know. But yeah. Fucking Shakur Stevenson. And now, in 2 weeks, we're going to watch Davis fight, who I would probably, I don't know if the weight class is the same, but probably compare the two. You're going to watch Davis, who just beat the living fuck out of Leo Santa Cruz, which was almost impossible 2 years ago. But no one's going to order the fight because they remember, oh yeah, he reminds me of that Shakur Stevenson guy. We're not going to buy this fight because it's probably going to be boring. A, it's not, but... B, Top Rank, you fucked it up. Maybe that was their point. Maybe they say, hey, there's this PBC guy who I'm sure a lot of people are reminded of. You know what we'll do? We'll make this fight so goddamn awful that no one will want to buy that other one. I am really sorry about how fucking annoying. Maybe it's this. Last night, I'm laying there after hockey, and I change to the Vice Network, and I look at Vice News tonight, and I'm like, what do they have to say about everything going on in this country/world? And what do I get? A fucking opinion, an hour opinion show. Just because CNN calls themselves a news network and does nothing but opinions doesn't mean if you're called Vice News Tonight, you should be nothing but opinions. The whole beginning is like, oh yeah, people are saying this, but that's not true. But this is... Anyway, hey, wait guys. You know what they should call it? They should call it Vice Opinion Tonight. Anyway, you could see, basically Denmark's trying to kick Syria or Syrian refugees out of the country because they think it's safer for them now. Who knows? Because once they did the intro and like, oh, here's our opinion on everything. Now we're gonna give you the fake news part. Or, God, I can't even say fake news anymore. Now that you know our opinion, enjoy watching the news story that's clearly gonna state our opinion. So the only thing I learned, two things really. First of all, Denmark's elevators, fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. They are like the, why can't I think of that door name? Where the circular door, the rotating door, why can't I think of that fucking name? Anyway, they are basically that. So you're looking at just a thing, just rotating. It's like a vertical baggage thing at an airport, but you step into it. There's like shelves that you could step on, and it takes you up. But it's constantly moving, and you just have to get on while it's moving. Keep going. I don't know how you go down. Never mind. I'm sure there's like an escalator system. They found it basically that's what it is. It's like if an escalator and an elevator had a disappointment of a child, it would be what a Denmark elevator looks like. It is basically an escalator, but it's going vertically. It is fucking awesome. Coolest thing I learned watching that episode last night. Coolest thing I learned. Denmark's elevators are awesome. Look them up, because if you haven't seen them, you are missing out. You are 100% missing out. It is the coolest thing ever. Also, another thing I learned, Europeans are better at racism than us. Way better at racism. See, where we get blamed is we just straight out say, nah, I don't like those people from other countries. And what Europeans say is like, yeah, we'll let you in while you need help. Like, oh, well, we decided you don't need help anymore. You got to get the fuck out of here. I don't care how long you've been here. I don't know how no, get the fuck out. It's great. It's not great, but they figured out how to do racism. They figured out how to do it. And if you look at the international news, they're not being called racist. They're not being called bigots. They're just simply they're not accepting of other countries. Now they said, well, guess what? Your place is safe now, so get the fuck out of Denmark. Was it Denmark? Yeah, Danish, Denmark. Get the fuck out. Where the racist in our country say, hey, you can't come here in the first place. It's that whole thing. It's that kill them with kind. It's like if you're initially kind, if you're initially nice to them, then what you do afterwards, it seems softer. And that's what it is. And you hear stories about that all the time, and it's not even stupid shit like that. It's I remember hearing stories about the Bosnian refugees in Germany, how much shit they got once the war's over. Like, hey, what the fuck are you still doing in our country? I don't care how many kids you had here or anything. Get moving, bud. I think that's why you don't hear as much about European racism, is because they manage to hate people who are the same race, just from different countries or different parts. So it doesn't seem as bad. If you talk to a French guy and he looks across the way at a German guy and says, hey, look at that, or oui, look at that fucking guy. It doesn't seem racist because, they're the same shade. I'm going off the rails on this one too. Woo-hoo. enjoy the train wreck, folks. But yeah, Europeans, maybe not better. Maybe what I'm saying is, before we start crediting the rest of the world for how great and inclusionary and all that, for look at how great Canada is, and look at how Europe's opening their arms. And before we start doing that, let's look at the history a little bit more. All right. Do you think we need to check out those Danish elevators? Badass. If there's one thing minus the question I asked earlier, if there's one thing you take from this episode, look up Danish elevators. Coolest fucking things in the world. You don't have to wait for the door. You're riding by yourself. It is awesome. You basically step on a ledge and it goes up. Awesome. It's always moving. You don't have to ride with someone else. Fucking great. It might get a little claustrophobic. Fuck it. Awesome. Coolest thing in the world. Basically a person conveyor belt. Awesome. I think in the modern era, we may have set a record. I believe it took up until Memorial Day for Vice President Harris to really stick her foot in her mouth. I can't, there's been the arguments about the policy or what they're going to do or what they're going to do coming up, obviously. All that stuff, but before everyone started saying like, ooh, this, I don't know what the optics are, or this doesn't, she made some sort of tweet or thing about enjoy your day off on Memorial Day, and everyone jumped on it. Even it was a little problematic. So it took her this long to finally misstep, and that could be a modern record. I know kind of, if you really look at it, Obama was kind of the first social media president. Not saying social media president, but he's first one that really had social media going in his presidency. So it's a little tough. So, I mean, you're really only looking at 3 separate administrations who are going. But I'm pretty sure Memorial Day is the longest anyone's held off before saying something that annoyed a bunch of people. I mean, granted, Biden hasn't been seen from until this fucking weekend, I don't think. No, that's not political. I'm just saying he's staying off TV. Yeah, it was. So enjoy your 3-day weekend. Oh, fuck. And of course the veterans, everyone who would be offended by that are all on the red side. So did not go well for. I will tell you. This is becoming a recurring theme in my shows, in my episodes, in my whatever. This is becoming a recurring theme. Republicans get angry at the right things. All right? You're still talking about voting machines and what the mattress guy with the creepy mustache is saying, where Harris recently just said you shouldn't cross the border illegally, or don't cross the border illegally. How does that not sound like something that you could jump off with and run with? But I heard her quote and I said, oh, that doesn't sound good. And that's all I heard. I didn't hear any Republicans talking about it. I didn't hear any. Guys, you spent 4 years having the guy you voted for being called a racist. Now you have a chance to call the vice president a racist and you don't take it. You're still worried about fucking voting machines and what pizza parlor not to go to and shit like that. Come on. You have your fucking chance. Do me the goddamn favor and run with it. You shouldn't cross the border illegally. Well, but illegal immigrants were just... There's ways to turn that, people. People. And as you know, I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat, whatever. But come on, I'm so tired of the left winning these battles. Winning these... you're a racist. Well, yeah, but the voting machine doesn't work. Yeah, you're not going to win that fucking battle, alright? So stop. You have a chance to say, oh yeah, you think they're racist? Well, look at what Harris just said. You had your chance, and I think you blew it. I'm going to level with you guys. Not sure this is my best episode of all time, but I'm too far into it to really start over, and I got a couple more. I'm not wrong, and anyone who's hearing this can think of your own examples, but the liberals have become, or I shouldn't say, the Democratic side of the electorate has become much better at making the real arguments the ones that take off. And you know what? And then here's what you say. Well, the Republicans do have those arguments, but the liberal media is shutting them down and not. Dummy. You have social media. You have emails. You have... Well, they're all shutting it down too. They're not shutting it down that fucking much. I promise you they're not. Figure it fucking out. It was interesting, however, that it just came out that it looks like Joe and Hunter Biden do enjoy the N-word. Well, Biden in actual hearings in the 80s, and Hunter dropping N-bombs, over text. But that's still not getting enough fucking credit or coverage or whatever. The My Pillow guy has a platform. Shut up about the voting machines. Talk about Harris. Talk about the double standard there. Talk about the Biden N-bombs. Oh, but that was 30 years ago. Well, that doesn't matter for everyone else. Everyone else you don't mind punishing for shit that happened 30 years ago. Give me hope. I need hope. Alright? I'm tired of seeing one side of the argument winning because they're arguing about the right things. Regardless if I agree or not, they're arguing the right things. And it could just be, no, that doesn't make sense. I was going to say it could be the fact that, it's been 4 years or, they've been able to frame, but the Republicans have had a chance to frame it the 8 years before that with Obama. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. But come on, give me hope. Give me hope for real arguments, for real anger. Yeah, it's the voting machine. He's going to be put back in by September. No, he's not. No, he's not. So jump on this other shit. Jump on the stupid stuff he's saying. Jump on all this. He just shook hands with Putin. I thought we were against them, or he already had ties. Not hearing any of that shit. I tell you what, there has been a plethora of fake broads trying to become my friend on Facebook again. Whew, it feels like it's 2012. I tell you, every day I'm getting two fake, female friend requests. It's awesome. Oh, they've been active for 36 hours. The best is when you see those fake female friend requests come through, and they just do enough to trick enough people where you're like, I wonder if maybe. And then you realize, no, there's no fucking way. First of all, those are two separate people in each one of their profile pics. So there's that. Second of all, there aren't enough random people anymore on social media. Anyone you know or who was going to become your friend or was going to find you organically has already found you. All right? This goes for every old person whose account's getting hacked. This goes for every dumbass who's getting catfished. This goes anyone who would be friends with you has already fucking found you. So stop. But yeah, it was a real dry spell for a while with these fake Facebook broads. But yeah, I've been coming across a lot more of them. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the summer. I don't know. Maybe it's, you know what it is. This whole eviction moratorium is going to end, and so all these fake catfishers are really pushing for money now because they're really going to have to do something to make to make sure they're staying in their home. So, man, we're going to really have to pump out the fake Facebook things to get money for them to travel to come see us or send us, $500 for a plane ticket for us to come. But the best part of that, is when you see which friends fell for it. Because, they're just doing a mass ad, It's like, oh, became friends with your buddy 34 minutes ago. Gotcha, nice try. She looked just real enough for you, bud, huh? You thought you had another one. She looked just real enough for you. Well, ain't you an idiot? That's the best part. And luckily for me, I only have, we'll say, probably 4 or 5 Facebook friends that fall for it repeatedly. That every time I see a fake one come up, and I always leave it in the requested thing. I don't automatically decline because I like looking through and refreshing and see who became friends with them. And I only have 3 or 4 Facebook friends who really fall for that multiple times, and I think that says a lot about the company I keep. So yeah, which is proud, but it's funny seeing a lot of them get duped over and over again because, God damn it, they just want that female to be real so bad. Like, oh, I looked at your profile post where, I don't know, I was going to try to come up with, guys, I told you, no, this ain't my best work. A lot of fake broads. Well, what else we got? We're coming towards the end of it. A lot of fights this weekend. Oh, King of the Ring for WWE's coming up this weekend. I'm not going to get too much into wrestling because I know a lot of you don't like the wrestling talk, but what's up with Charlotte Flair's face since she came back? It looks odd. Like, she allowed herself to be the real life dummy for a plastic surgery med school. It looks like only half of it moves. And I don't know, like, I know she got rid of her fake tits a while ago, but yeah, it looks odd. Or maybe that's it without all the weird shit. Maybe she stopped doing the weird shit and this is what she actually looks like. But I finally figured it out. And I don't know if I said this before or I said this again or if I'm saying it again, but it's worth repeating if I did. I figured out why I'm a wrestling fan. And it's simply because when you look back and you hear the documentaries about what happened in wrestling 20 years ago or, 15 years ago, and you hear like well, this was going on backstage, or this is what we were talking about during the match. Always cool stories. Always interesting stories. They were talking about Hell in a Cell with Mick Foley getting thrown through the cage and getting thrown off the table. Talking about during the match, all that shit and all the shit that happened backstage. Awesome. And I remember watching that, so it was even better. So that's why I still watch it. All right? It's because... Yeah, sidebar. This is how I justify it to everyone I know. But the backstories are so great. Backstage stories are so cool, like how shit comes about. And it's fun, because A&E's doing a bunch of the biographies about the former wrestlers. And, they talked about Stone Cold Steve Austin cutting that first promo where Austin 316 says, I just whooped your ass. Where that first time that came up and how that came about and all. Hilarious. Awesome story. Intriguing story. And I saw it originally, so makes it even better. So that's why I still watch it, because in 15 years, when they talk about the Hardy Boys return and what that looked like and how that came about, or all sorts of, when they talk about the cage match between Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman before Braun Strowman, I'm going to have a reference for it. So that's why I still watch. Like, I just watched the Booker T documentary. Awesome. Great. And I watched a lot of Booker T's career growing up, so I knew all the stories. In fact, that Booker T was the one I was least looking forward to, and it actually turned out pretty fucking good. So, in case you were curious, the end of this episode was just me, once again, trying to justify why I still watch wrestling. Alright, get the mic off the stand here. I'm going to lean back for my, go real cash for the end of here. Well, thank you for checking out this episode of the C Squared Hour, the Father's Day special. And don't forget, all the mothers doing the same job, or doing both jobs, or whatever the fuck they're saying this time. The Father's Day special, the Hell in the Cell special, whatever's not going to make me the angriest. So that's what we're doing. I know you're saying, well, this is called the C Squared Hour, but this isn't going to be quite an hour. Well, I'm like a shrink and a call girl. All right. I promise you an hour. I charge you for an hour. I give you 45 minutes. So be happy with that. Anyway, all right. Again, let me know if the Juneteenth thing isn't good or is good, or if I should do it or I shouldn't do it. Because there's a lot of shit coming out for it, and there's a lot of shit coming up. I need to know. All right. Again, thank you for checking this out. Again, I keep saying fucking again. Deschutes Brewery. See, then I was trying too hard, so it sounded like an asshole. Deschutes Fresh Haze IPA. That's what I'm going with. It had nothing to do with the quality of this episode. I know I got off on a bunch of tangents that seemed to go nowhere, and I seemed to get distracted. Hey, they can't all be winners, right? Even Ray Allen missed a free throw every now and again. All right, well, hit me up. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those places. DMs are open. And if nothing else, I will see you next time.